Well, ladies and gentlemen, it happened. We are 38 weeks pregnant at this moment.
You're like,
What's all over it? It's a flood.
ew, gross. What is that?
Sylvia, go and get something.
Would someone get this kid a Happy Meal? You know, like Adam Sandler.
And our OB's awesome.
Yes.
Dr. Ramos, you're the fucking man, okay? Is it millimeters or centimeters?
I hope my doesn't rip to my ass.
Please, if you guys want to donate now.
What? What are they going to donate?
Stop the cause.
I was having a ton of back labor. Back labor f***ing sucks.
You don't know how to rub for shit. And I was like, okay, sorry.
I was so fucking mad.
Don't you think that rhinos should be considered dinosaurs?
We're back, kinda. Welcome back, you guys, Central Valley Podcast. We are here, 2024. This technically isn't a part of Season 6. This is just a podcast to get the ball rolling. Before I dive into what the podcast is, I just want to say thank you again to all your guys' support. I truly, truly appreciate it. And check out the new set. We put some hours into this bad boy, but we are happy with it. A little bit bigger room, same location, but we just wanted to kind of switch things up. I feel like we actually did also purchase the gear to get a multi-camera setup. So we got 3 cameras as well. So that's the new stuff coming Season 6. We'll try to get some promos going for you guys as well. And once again, you guys, I just want to say we have merch, people. Everyone asks us about our almond allergies and asthma shirts, which is this one right here. You know what I mean? So we got these for sale, centralvalleypodcast.com, or just go to my Instagram link in the bio. We also have a classic CVP hoodie. And really, guys, if you want to support the podcast in any way, please buy some merch. We truly, truly appreciate the support. We got these just classic CVP tees, and we think the logo's cool with the palm of the pine. Oh, I also held up the 99 Sucks one instead of the almond allergies and asthma. But you guys get the point. We got merch for sale. So please, if you guys want to support the podcast, we'd appreciate a purchase. If you guys just want to listen to these episodes, we also appreciate that. Also, if you guys are interested in becoming a sponsor for this upcoming season, just reach out to me via Instagram and we can get the ball rolling. Really cheap, $100 a month. We got 2 episodes. That's 2 ad reads. And yeah, so thank you if you guys are interested in that. And now let me talk to you guys about this episode. This episode I did with my wife, Lindsey. And so the way we did it is we recorded half the podcast while she was pregnant and what we thought it was going to be like. And then we recorded the second half of the podcast after we had the little baby Izzy. And we originally were going to go that way, but we're actually playing them opposite. So we're playing the podcast of us after we had Izzy first, and then the one before the second half of the podcast. I know it's confusing, and I'm sorry, but the reason is our flow on the first one is just funny. It's go-getting. And for some reason, my flow on the one where Lindsey was pregnant, I was so tired that I felt like I was boring. So if you really want to know us, you'll listen all the way through. I think that this one of the podcasts that's going to start is going to be a lot more free-flowing and just good for the listeners. I know that was a lot to digest. But point is, we're coming back this year, 2024, stronger than ever. And I appreciate your support. So, ladies and gentlemen, here is me and my wife, Lindsey Diele.
Shout out Duffy, shout out Michael.
This is it. Central Valley Podcast.
Hey, big shout out Central Valley Podcast.
You know I had to fuck with it. Hey, shout out Central Valley Podcast.
We are parents. Whoop, whoop. I don't have that button right now.
I was going to say anything.
Yeah, exactly. So we did it.
We did it.
By we did it, she did it.
I did it.
She did it. She pushed Izzy, Rhiannon, Diele. We recorded the podcast, I think, 2 or 3 weeks before the due date.
Mm-hmm.
And then Izzy actually was a week late. Yeah, exactly a week late.
Yes.
Yeah, so October 14th at 4 a.m., we we welcomed little baby Izzy Rhiannon Diele to the
Weighing a
world.
whopping 7.14. Remember when I was like, oh no, that's closer to 7.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And you're like, no,
She was like
that's-
7.14 ounces. It's closer to 7. I'm like, no, that's almost an 8-pound baby.
And then I was like, what the fuck? And then I was like, oh my god.
And as
it
you
makes
can
it even
see,
worse.
she is in way better spirits now that she doesn't have a giant belly on her.
Oh, don't I sound better?
She was like,
like in the other episode when I was listening to it, I was
Yeah.
like, just like so uncomfortable.
with a beer in your hand. Cheers. Shout out Tioga. We got drinking Half Dome today.
Now get back to what I was doing
Now,
pre-pregnancy.
pre-pregnancy. Yeah, so we're going to talk about pre-pregnancy first, and then we're going to go into kind of everything else. But thank you guys for the support. We appreciate it. We appreciate all you guys actually wanting to know about us having a kid.
You probably don't.
Or you probably don't, and you're like, I thought this was a Central Valley podcast. Like, I thought you talked about Central Valley
know
stuff.
About your
Well,
fucking
guess
life.
what? I have a
No
life.
one cares about your personal life, Micah.
Yeah. I know. I made a post yesterday that was like basically just talking about my growth and stuff. And then this freaking,
Listen, no one gives a fuck. I just,
this dude was like, talk about the city and how it's corrupt and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, hey, dude,
that's
like,
everywhere.
and then I responded something like, I thought was pretty like good. Like, hey, maybe your outlook on life's just negative, dude. You talk shit to me, guess what? You get blocked. No negativity here.
Okay, how to talk to your cat about gun safety.
That's what he says on his thingy.
First off, cats don't give a fuck about safety.
And second off, you suck.
Anyway, we gave
Anyways,
this
we
guy
got
too much
set.
time.
Yeah, we gave him too
We
much
need to
time.
stop.
All right, like I said, before
Pre-pregnancy.
So one thing
Ask me, how was I before pre-pregnancy? Ask me something.
Okay, so what I want you to do is tell the people about, I would say, the craziest moment you've ever had. But go ahead, just talk about.
Oh, no, but that was during pregnancy. That's
That's
not pre-pregnancy.
That is pre. But we don't. There's nothing here about before pregnant. I meant pre-baby, pre-labor. That's what this is.
Oh, well, pre-pregnancy is before.
Okay,
you were pregnant.
pre-labor. Sorry.
Okay, before birth. That's pre-birth.
Before birth. So let's talk about what happened before
And
birth.
now I didn't.
That you came
I was
home
all
and told
smirking
me.
at the camera, like, oh yeah. Okay, so first off, Micah thinks it's crazy. I think it's just instinct. You know, like it's natural. It's hormonal. Women tend to get a little like
Overprotective.
overprotective. And I mean, I've talked to a couple moms before, and they have similar stories.
I would beg to differ, but go on.
Anyway, so I had an appointment with, like one of my old OB before going, and switching finally, and that because this
Early.
appointment made me go home and switch like the same day, but regardless, it was a shitty appointment, and so my mom took me to the appointment. She was there, she witnessed it, blah blah blah. I won't say what happened during the appointment, who the OB was, yada yada. But anyway, we'll just jump to the story. Anyway, my mom was driving me. I was just pissed off. I was just over it. I'm pregnant. I'm miserable. This was first trimester, right?
Yeah, it was pretty
It was
early.
it was it was early on. This was before I got like even more like super uncomfortable. But all I remember is we had picked up my aunt and we drove, and I think is that 59 that I was on? Is it or Belcher?
Doesn't matter. For the sake of
Anyways,
it.
I was driving, or I wasn't driving. My mom was driving. I was passenger, and this lady like pulls up, like honking, like behind us, like basically to move the fuck out of the way, like we don't know how to drive or something. Which she had plenty of room to merge to the right of us to go into like her turning lane or whatever. But anyway, so she's doing the most behind us, pulls up to the side, and like I'm already pissed off. She's pulling up and she's kind of like, giving us a dirty look. So I roll down my window and I'm like, what the fuck is your problem? Blah, blah, blah. And she's like starting to yap at the mouth. And then I was just like, oh my God. And so she ends up pulling off, and me and my mom was just like, whatever, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go right too. We were gonna go left, but guess what? We're going right. So we follow her.
And they don't just
and-
follow her, you guys.
she turns left at, where so we turn left. We start going down a few streets, and You could tell she's starting to speed a little bit and like kind of
Get away.
Basically, like she's doing turns where it's like, okay, are they following me or am I just crazy?
Yeah,
and guess
we
what?
all do that when the cops behind us, but not a normal car. Not a
Yes.
car.
So basically, we followed her for about 30 minutes.
30 minutes, you guys. She follows a lady
And
in
my
her car for
aunt-
30 minutes.
And my aunt, who's, more of the crazy one, the more of the buck wild one, had the most sense that day and was like, you guys need to stop following this bitch because she is going to call the cops. And me and my mom were like, nah, she won't. She ain't going to call the cops. And, to our surprise,
To your surprise, what happened?
we get on G Street and a little bit like past In Shape, we seen this motorcycle cop and he like jumps in front of us and he's like pointing to us like pull up by the Loja Floral
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. Like we're
Yeah, right
there,
there.
that car,
yeah. Car wash is right there.
he's basically revved up in front of us. Like obviously she had pre-planned this and she was telling them exactly where
Yeah.
she was driving to fucking set us up. And so we have to turn. Anyway, oh my God, I'm buzzed.
First time having a beer, right?
Yeah, no. I feel like we were at Tioga and I had 2 beers.
Oh, yeah,
Remember?
that's
No.
true.
Anyway, so fast forward, we're dilated. We don't know. Anyway, halfway, and I was still fine.
Yeah.
We got admitted.
We got admitted. We were in the room. Sylvia came and she was like, don't want to do epidural or anything like that. So they were.
Okay, basically, I had a birth plan, and whatever you put into your birth plan, if your OB is cool, they will follow along with it like ours did.
And our OB's awesome. Just shout out him right now.
Yes.
Dr. Ramos, you're the fucking man, okay? He not only made Lindsay feel at ease
Mhm.
that
like
she was
the
going to follow her
perfect
birth
OB.
plan, but he also like actually pays attention to like the guys
He's
as
very
well.
engaged.
He's very personable, basically.
Yes.
And there was like a lot of, we had like 2 different OBs and all of them kind of, I felt like were just ignored me every time I was like in the hospital room or I was like at a doctor's appointment and I'm always like, I get it. Or they'd be like, you're due, what date is it again? And I'm like, bro,
Like,
it's on your
unsure.
chart. Just look on the chart and act like you know what day it is.
That way you feel comfortable
Just-
that they're going to be
yeah.
delivering it. Like,
They're always
how
like,
do you
oh, I think
not?
you're due on the 8th, right? And I'm like, I don't know, man. Are we? Because this is our fucking 6-month appointment.
Anyway, but yes, really good OB. And I think if I were to get pregnant again, I would really hope that it would be him again. He was really good. And he was the only one that actually took time and actually knew what a birth plan was. I feel like I brought it up to the other OB and he was just like,
he was like, what do you mean birth plan?
yeah. And I was
like,
just
what
like,
do you mean?
and
What do
I
you
was
mean?
like, oh my, because I just wanted to feel like this birth was going to be an experience, at least for myself, because birth should be it's crazy. You're
giving
doing this. It's
giving
really,
a life.
it's very, I don't know. It's like almost like a whole new chapter of your life that you're entering, and you just want the person that's helping you get through this help you the way you want to be helped and listen to you everything
Mhm.
instead of just like kind of treating you like a patient. You want to be treated like a person,
Yeah.
basically.
And basically, to kind
And
of
he followed it to a T.
Yeah.
Like he
to sum it up till things started getting crazy. Basically, we got in there at 2. We were
Mhm.
like in the room hanging out.
we watched
Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. No, Halloween.
Halloween.
That's what I
Halloween.
went, yeah.
Halloween.
And then like she was just moving around and she was fine and everything like that. And then we basically from 2 to like 11 o'clock.
That's when things
everything's
started
kind of
going.
okay. And then
But it was going so slow.
it was going slow.
It started
Yeah,
going so
super
it just
slow.
Stopped.
Yeah.
It stopped progressing, and then things
Mhm.
Then
then-
things got a
Yeah.
little.
Then like 11:30 hit,
little rough.
and like Lindsay was just like off her. Like she kept it cool for so long, basically. And then like 11:30 hit, and she was just like, I can't do this. I can't do this in the beginning. And then you're like, we gotta get this baby out of me.
Well, I think I started like freaking out because I feel like we got checked like so many times.
We got
'cause
checked
I was-
like 4
'cause I
times,
kept
and it was like
saying-
half a centimeter after the end of the
yeah,
4 times.
and I was like, whew, I'm probably like at a 9 now. Like it should like. I was just
You're
so
stuck at, like,
convinced.
7.
I was so convinced that I had dilated so much and we were going to be getting there, but it would just be either the same or hardly, and they'd be like, yeah, no, and then I was just like, oh fuck. Like, I'm going to have to do that. Like, I've been doing, like, nothing's changed.
Yeah, it's already been like over 12
Hours.
hours. Yeah, you know, you're
Yes.
like, you're over it.
So,
And then so one thing that like we're doing the birth and Lindsay's trying to do it.
I also have a comb during this because that's what I was holding on to the entire
Yeah,
labor.
so she was squeezing a comb for like pressure, basically like a stress ball, but it was
Yeah,
just
it's
like
counter pressure.
counter pressure, basically. And so her whole thing that she wanted to do was counter pressure. And I mean, she never had an epidural. She didn't have an epidural the whole time, but what she ended up doing is like they used to give morphine and now they give fentanyl.
So I got that good shit.
Yeah. So at 12 o'clock, that's when she was like, I need something, give me anything, give me anything. And so I was like, Sylvia, go fucking get something.
Would someone get this good a Happy Meal? You know, like Adam Sandler.
Yeah. And so they come in, so basically from 12 to 4, every hour they gave her dose of morphine, basically.
So the thing was, I was having a ton of back labor. Back labor fucking sucks. And it's just all the pain is literally in your back. And basically, if I were to lay down on my back or sit or anything, it would hurt like hell. Like I stood, I would say, 95% of that labor, I was standing up while you guys were rubbing me. Like I was
80-ish% probably.
Well, yeah, the last 4 hours I was
Yeah,
on my
exactly.
back, but I had to be on my back, which hurt a lot because all the labor was just hitting my back.
Yeah. And then
Anyway, so I was on my back. It hurt.
and then
The only way that I could get the fentanyl was being put on a monitor. That was the
Yeah.
thing too. So I
they
had
had
to
to check
lay
the
down.
baby and her heart rate, basically,
Yes.
and to make sure everything was
So
good.
it was so painful because I would rather be standing up and having them massage my back.
Yeah. So,
So
basically, let me tell you.
instead, I was forced on my back, and they gave the worst.
Yeah. So basically, anytime, like she said, she was having back pain, she would want us to press on her back,
Like
right?
push
To push
as
on her
hard
back,
as
basically,
they
as hard as we
to
could.
help ease.
And like me and
that
Sylvia are
pain.
literally like bent over, like we're sitting in chairs, leaning over. We are like tired because we've been doing this for like, not only have we been there a long time, but from like 12 to 3. I remember Sylvia was like, it's gonna come by 3 o'clock. By 2 o'clock, it's gonna come.
My poor mom, she was like, I think we're getting.
Yeah,
like,
she's like 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock is gonna come, and then the 1 o'clock
she's
will
like,
come.
this
She's
baby's
like,
gonna come.
2
This
o'clock.
baby's
2
gonna
o'clock.
come.
This baby's gonna come.
I
And then
think at
3
that
o'clock,
point,
she
I
was
was
like,
like, what the
3
fuck?
o'clock's gonna come.
You're lying to me. Where is
Yeah, and
this
they're like,
book?
I can't do it. I can't do it. Can't. And then one point of it, like I'm like leaning over, rubbing her back, and like me and Sylvia are like both taking turns on this, and then Sylvia at one point is like, I can't do this. Like my back hurts basically, and so I'm like, fuck.
You guys
okay.
switched. You
Yeah,
guys switched.
we switched, and so I was like leaning around doing it. And then Lindsay's at one point, it's like, Micah, I'm sorry. I'm like, it's okay, baby. Don't worry about it. You're fine. She's like, I'm sorry. You don't know how to rub for shit. And I was like, okay, sorry.
I was
Yeah.
so fucking mad because I kept having to yell at you guys like harder, and you guys weren't like. It just felt like you guys were just like kept it the same. And
But the next day, there was
I know.
bruising all on your back.
Yes, there
From
was
us.
like my back was bruised, my feet, everything. They were but basically. Anyway, moral of the story is I got an OB who followed the plan because he, during that whole time, would come in the room and he'd reassure me stuff. And, you know, he would stay in the room for a while. He did not have to do any of that or check in on us till I was pushing or something, like till I was dilated. But he took the time to come in, see how I was doing, even though I was like at some parts, like towards the end, I just like could not talk, but he was talking to you guys. And I think him, like, he was good at reassuring, like reminding me, like, okay, well, this is on your birth plan. This is what we're doing. Like,
Yeah.
this is on your birth
And so,
plan.
like, one of the big
like,
things.
are you sure that because you have it written on your
Yeah.
birth
So basically,
plan?
she was like at about like 3:45 a.m. She was like 9.5 centimeters dilated, but her water hadn't broke. And on her birth
Yes.
plan,
I
she
wanted a break naturally.
Yeah. And then we finally got to the point where Lindsay was like, I just break my fucking water. I need to
Yes.
get this baby out. And then we came up with the song. It was like, get this baby out. I'm going to get this baby out. Get this baby out. I'm going to get this baby out. I was doing that the whole time when she was in a good mood, at least.
Because we were doing this when I was curb
during
walking.
the labor. Yeah, during the labor.
And no curb walking.
Oh,
made it
yeah.
up.
And then the labor.
Yes.
And then basically 3:40.
Whatever's on your birth plan, your doctor should follow it.
Yeah, so at 3:45, basically, he comes in and Lindsay's like, "Hey, I want my water to break," and he's like, "Are you sure it's on your birth plan natural?" And you're like, "I just want to get this water to break." And then,
because I think I was like, what, at an 8 and 9 during that, like still nothing was breaking. I lost my.
No, you were like
mucus plug.
9.5.
Yeah, and like nothing was happening.
Breaking, yeah.
Like it was not happening.
Yeah, and
I was
so
just
basically,
like, what the fuck?
3:45 happens and breaks the water, and then
all of a sudden, like
labor ensues pretty much right after
it
that.
almost felt like I got taken into a new room.
Well, yeah. So what happened? Was,
Like
I was so
it was
confused.
like such an out of body. Not an out of body.
They had to turn on the lights and everything like that, and
Because
then
I do remember him breaking it, and then as soon as he did that, I think he was like, "Okay, we're gonna start pushing," and I was like, "Whoa, what? Like, okay, this is crazy."
Well, let me
and
tell
then
you guys.
I turned on.
What's crazy is that after the water broke, they're like, "All right, we're gonna get ready," and so they start doing things, and then all of a sudden, this bed that she's been laying in the whole time.
No, but I think it was after I got on all fours because remember he was like, "Okay, push," and like then he was like, "Listen, you're gonna have to get back on your back. I know you don't want to, but you're gonna have to deliver it on your back because baby is in a position that you can't deliver it on all fours." And I was like, fuck. And I remember because I was all sad, and then I had to get back on my back, and that's when
all of a sudden, like
Transformers
the bed transforms, and like the bed raises up like 3 feet up, then it just falls, like half of it falls down.
And let me tell you, the lights were like, because I had the lights dim, like all of a sudden just
lights
bright
are on.
lights.
Well, lights
all
are
these
on,
people come
and then
in.
there's like 6 doctors in there.
I felt like it was a play, you know, like when they switch scenes, like it almost felt like that, like everyone.
Well, then I remember like while it was going on, like the doctors were talking and stuff like that, and then like in the middle of the doctor's like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" And he's like, "What hour are you on?" He's like, "Oh, I'm on hour like 20 of my 24-hour shift."
Jesus
and
Christ.
I was like, "Damn!" Like, but like all this stuff's going on, and then the pushing portion of it was really
super fast.
Yeah, super fast.
But I am totally glad I broke my water because I think if I waited longer, like way longer, I would have had no energy to push because I was already so drained.
We were already on 24 hours up. At that point, we were up for 24 hours. Basically,
basically, and like just the pushing, like he would tell me to hold my breath and
remember
hold, and like, oh, he was like, "You got to hold your breath like you're swimming." Remember that? And then like in my head, I'm thinking, "Fuck, doc, I did not know how to swim."
I know in my head I was like, I could make a joke right now, but I guess I won't.
And then my mom thought the same thing, like, but she don't know how to swim. Like everyone's us, we were thinking the same exact thing. That was
bad
like
analogy, doctor.
You don't know what we know. But I was so exhausted. It felt like it was just for like 10 seconds, hold your breath. And I could not for a while do it. And then I was finally like, listen, you got to hold your fucking breath and get this baby out.
Yeah. And also all those guys out there who think like, oh God, that's going to be crazy. It is crazy, but like.
Micah did really good.
I was pretty calm the whole time.
He did not.
I didn't freak out once.
He even looked down to see because they at one point.
Second.
Yeah, because it was just because they were like, look at all that hair. And I remember that. And you were like, huh?
Do you remember what I said it looked like?
No. Oh, okay. Micah's.
I'll say it. So, so they're looking at all that hair, and I'm like, I guess I'll kind of like, and I wasn't gonna look.
Basically,
like a lot.
Describe what you seen. What did you see? What do you think you seen?
Well, describe the way I described it to you.
Describe what you yes.
So you guys know how, I don't know if it's a squid or octopus, but one of them has like a beak thingy. That's why I said it looked like her vagina looked like a little beak,
He
basically.
was going from like he was at my
a
shoulder.
Squid beak
so
or
an
an octopus beak. Yeah. Basically. But then, but I was there right next to her the whole time. She was breathing. Honestly, it was probably 15 minutes like of actual,
delivery.
15 minutes of like you on your back, basically.
Yeah.
And then like, and it
It
was
went
real
by
quick.
really
And then
fast.
like all of a sudden it happened.
It was just like crazy.
I started
pressure.
bawling just because there was
And
like.
I didn't even know he was crying. I was too
I
high.
was just like, oh my God. Like, because when you have a kid, you think like, oh, my parents did this. Like, my grandparents did this for my parents. Like, it's just a crazy thing that you're bringing like a life into the world. And then all of a sudden, like, there's this baby crying. You know what I mean?
what did you, okay, so tell me, what did you think when you first seen her? Like, give me your view, like what happened, like your labor.
So, like,
basically, not labor, but you know what I mean?
yeah. So basically, like, the final push happens, the baby comes out, and I'm just like, oh my God, like, that was inside of you. Because before, like I said, like, during the pregnancy, it was kind of hard for me to wrap around, like, getting ready for it and stuff like that. And then, like, there was just a baby there.
So
and I was just,
uncomfortable.
like, looking at it, and I was like, oh my God. Like, and I just started, like, kind of tearing. I just started tearing up, and I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. And they take the baby, and then I left. Lindsay was right there, but then I went over to the baby, and I had my camera. I had my camera in my hand.
I'm already getting emotional because I missed out on that, but I was also in my own fucking world.
Or no, I didn't have my camera. No. So then I didn't have my camera in my hand. Then I went to my bag because my camera was already out, or my camera's out, and I grabbed my camera and I just took photos instantly of the baby in video, and then they're like strapping up the baby with like the wristbands and stuff like that. But I was just like looking at the baby, like looking at Izzy, like, oh my god, like you're alive. You know what I mean? Like
you're here.
Yeah, you're here. Like you.
I mean, you don't know how she's gonna look or anything. Like you do not know until we had her. That was like the first time we actually seen. I don't think we did any 3D. Like, no idea how she'd look. I think we stopped.
Besides the doctor, I mean, the one time we did the
baby.
She was like, she has big lips.
Baby.
Yeah, she was like, she has big lips.
Like, and then that one, and they're like, oh, she has like really pouty, like big lips, blah blah blah. And that was like it. We didn't really. I think. Yeah, for a long time.
Yeah, but it was just crazy just seeing like part of you, basically, you know what I mean? And so I was like, oh my gosh. And then baby was on Lindsay's chest for a little bit. And then we were kind of like, originally we were like, we want an hour of baby bonding. And then like, we were kind of just like, let's go to the next room. Yeah, we're ready to go to the next room.
Well, no, I think it was because he was stitching me up. Okay, so.
Oh, well, here, let me ask.
Did I tear?
Did you tear?
So basically, I didn't get an episiotomy. Episiotomy is when they slice your vagina, like, what is it you guys call what separates
taint. Taint.
What separates your
or
asshole
gooch.
From your next
gooch
hole.
Or taint, whatever you prefer.
Yeah, so anyways, my gooch. Well, anyway, episiotomy is when they cut, like, from where you're delivering, and just so the baby can come out. And sometimes doctors do that. Regardless of what you're wanting. I didn't want an episiotomy. I wanted a rip naturally because regardless or not, I knew I was going to rip. It's very rare that you're not going to rip or tear. And I feel like, especially with your first child. So
unless
I naturally.
You got a big vagina.
Which I feel like I do because that was almost an 8-pound baby for my stature. But anyway, I teared naturally. And I believe I want to say it was a 2nd or 3rd degree tear.
Second degree.
Right?
The second wasn't third.
So, which is like right before your butt hole, which is crazy, but I did not feel it. And then they give you a shot because he had to stitch me up. And I remember when he was like, I got to do stitches, I just said, you know what? Do whatever you need to do with the baby because we're going to be here a while. Yeah. And it was totally fine because they were were such good staff too.
Yeah, they were all
Shout
good.
out to they were all really good. They brought really good energy.
Yeah. So all of you guys that hear like the people say like Mercy's not good, blah blah.
No,
like our experience was our experience was great. Our experience was great. Nurses were great. Doctors OB was great. All his helpers were great.
Especially at 4 a.m. I mean,
it was 4 a.m. You guys so we were tired, and then. So basically, at that point,
he was stitching. They were taking care of that,
and basically within an hour of the baby coming out, we were in a new room.
Yes, we got wheeled out to a new room.
Yeah, and but the thing was, it's like we were hoping the baby would come on Friday the 13th. That way, we go to sleep or something like that. But we were in our new room at 5 a.m. and like
so your staff changes, like everyone's changing out, like so it's a different shift. I think one thing we should mention is that like you don't. No, or I didn't realize either that they come and they check on you so often. There was like little things that they had to do. Remember that was it the first night they had to come prick her foot and you were asleep and you came like you woke up to her just screaming.
The jaundice test.
Yeah, it was and it was like the saddest thing and she failed it.
But like also, so we're so tired because it's after that whole day, we had like a few friends and family. We were over
24 hours awake.
No, yeah, so we basically were up for 48 hours.
And then I chose to breastfeed. So there's this thing called cluster feeding, which I didn't know about till this is what I wish I knew beforehand was cluster feeding. So cluster feeding is when these babies turn to gremlins and almost every 30 minutes they're ready to eat. And it's really hard, especially when you're breastfeeding, because that baby's going to be on you every 30 minutes, ready to eat. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. It was a lot.
And I think then we decided, like, okay, we're going to do formula too. Like, there's no way we can just do breastfeeding right now because I need to sleep. This is crazy. I mean, we already knew we were going to do formula, but that early.
Yeah, and for everyone who's like, you have to give your baby breast milk, blah, blah. Like, listen, hey.
Whatever's going to get your baby
Izzy
fed.
chugs the boob, and she also chugs
Listen, our
the
baby
formula.
can eat. She's really good. one thing I'm super happy is that she latched on so fast.
Yeah, nothing. Not like having a
And
hard
then,
time.
yeah, and even bottle, she takes bottle really good. So the transition, because some people have a hard time for their baby latching, then they get really down on themselves, or like bottle, like when they try to transition them to bottle, it's really hard. But she's really good. I feel like she's not like super like, I don't know.
She's not fussy.
No, she's not fussy with that. She's
Yeah.
fussy when you take it away from her. But other than
Okay.
that,
Gotcha.
cluster feeding's what I wish I would have knew of.
And it lasts a long time. It doesn't last. It doesn't last.
It
just
lasts
like,
a couple weeks
yeah,
because
yeah,
the
a
first
few
couple
weeks.
weeks was rough.
Yeah, it was. The first night. Yeah, it was pretty rough. And then
He was just like, "Oh my god, my back hurts from laying on this couch." I'm like, "You motherfucker! First off, don't tell me what's uncomfortable because
no, my back hurt from bending over, rubbing your back. That's
oh
why
my
it hurt.
god, whatever. Shut up. Go ahead. Go next thing.
The next thing. So that was D-Day. That was delivery day.
That
you
was
guys.
delivery day.
That was D-Day. Well, boom, boom, boom.
Hmm?
My grandpa also fought a different D-Day. He did.
Shout out.
Shout out Papa, Sam Diele. All right. And then, so the next thing we got on here is surprising part of motherhood / fatherhood. What's the most surprising? Sorry. They're doing construction. They're doing construction above us right now. If you hear that,
I don't know. I think women get attached as soon as they kind of find out that they're pregnant. I don't know. I feel like I did. At least, like, mothers are different. So I didn't expect to get so attached to whatever that was already created inside of me and growing so soon. And it's like, I don't know how to explain it. I guess there's like, you already know they're in there and you're so aware.
well, and the fact that the baby doesn't know that the mother is a separate
Mm-hmm.
like individual from it for like the first like
Yeah,
like 4
they
or
don't
5
know.
months, like something crazy like
that
that.
and it's or
First 4 or 5 months
yeah,
after
that's
coming
what's
out.
surprising too.
After
It's
coming
like
out.
they don't understand. So then, yeah,
Yeah. For me, it was just like when the baby was there, like my buddy Chris told me
'Cause that's
he
when you
cried
became a
when
parent.
yeah. For me, like I knew she was pregnant. I knew that we were having a baby, but for me, it was like I still kind of like it's not here yet though. And then when I saw the baby, I cried, and it was just like, wow. And the people are right when they say like you see your baby and you're like, wow, like you love this thing more than you love anything else, and like it's a feeling that like parents get. And that's why it's crazy when there's
like
fucking
it's overwhelming.
yeah, but it's crazy when there's like dads or people who fucking aren't there for their kids. It's just like, dude.
Yeah, I
That-
don't. But
that's-
maybe it's because we waited to have kids. So there's some people that like have them so
Accidentally,
young
yeah.
that they're not. I don't know. I guess you're not at that mature level yet because I don't think I would have reacted the same way of giving birth. Like if I were to do it at like say 15, 20, 25. I think 30 was a good year
Mm-hmm.
to kind of, finally have a kid.
Yeah. And then what the funniest new parent moment?
There's been a couple.
What are yours?
I mean, I guess there's just a few. Like the most recent one that I was like, she looks spot on like Micah.
Or like her lips and everything, like how
Like
she
this-
sleeps is how I sleep, basically.
Like a lot of the stuff
And she has
does.
my big ass ears, dude. She has
Oh,
my
and that was like
big-ass ears.
something today.
Every
I was
time
looking in
she's-
the mirror and they're just like popping out on the side.
And then when she lays down, like
get
on the
folded.
on the bed, like they get folded up, and I'm like, oh man, those are my ears. Like
And
I
then-
just had massive ears.
I think one thing too, it's like when I was pregnant with her, she was having hiccups inside of me. And then at that same time, Micah started having the hiccups. Do you remember that? And I was like, oh my God,
Mm-hmm.
she's having hiccups too. And then she sneezes like Micah. And what else? And then the other day, remember?
Yeah, she sneezes all the time like me.
Yeah, and then like remember the hair thing? Like your hair and her hair were like
Oh, yeah,
identical,
yeah.
and I was like,
I was
"Do you
holding her, and her
have
hair
the
was hella
video,
crazy.
too?"
And then I was holding
was
her,
just
and Lindsay was like, "Do
laughing.
you even know how you look right now?" And my hair was like up in like a little like
They looked like
faux hawk type of
roosters.
thing, and then her hair was like that, and like I was like holding her like
They
that.
just look so, and he was like, "Huh?"
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the same thing. It's
That
just,
well, or just her shitting. Like those are
Bro,
crazy.
this baby shits. And so one of the questions is how much is poop involved?
Well,
Well, okay, so in reality, it's like once a day, so not crazy. Like
Yeah.
a lot of diaper changes, a
Sometimes
lot
she'll
of pee.
go a day without, but
Yeah.
regardless, it's once a
Yeah.
day.
So very first time we kind of dealt with a blowout. We were visiting my grandparents, showing her.
Well, she
them
didn't blow
Izzy.
out. She hasn't had like
No, not a
blowout,
blowout,
but,
but like
like-
shit while we were changing her.
like crazy.
So
shit.
she went poop, and then we were changing her at my grandma and grandpa's house, and then we put a little mat down and everything like that. And then as we're changing her, it like shot out and almost like got on
like
us,
projectile.
but got on the thingy.
Like
And
that's
then-
how hard she pushes.
And then basically, like 4 days later, we're at my parents' house and we're changing her, and we like go put everything down, and there's a big shit already, and we're wiping it down, cleaning it, and then right afterwards, she just shits like
and it gets
out.
onto the
It
carpet.
gets like on the carpet and stuff. We're like, what the hell, Izzy? But she
can shit. She can eat and she can shit.
yeah. So now we've been extra careful putting down towels and stuff. Oh, and then she had
like-
another blowout when I wasn't home. In the whatever the fucking bassinet thingy.
Oh yeah, she did that and she exploded all in there, and I was just like, oh my god, I had to like
Yeah.
take apart the
But
bassinet.
this thing, I don't mind this baby shit. It's like formula, it's milk, it's whatever. I'm scared about when this baby starts eating human food and it's like normal shit. Like
That's where we're gonna
I don't want
have
my baby to eat
problems.
corn. Let me tell you that. That's what I don't want.
So stupid.
And then the next question is, are you scared that a new life is depending on you?
Yes and no.
Yeah, yes and no. You feel a little more sure about things. I feel like I feel like you can become a little more confident about things for sure. Like I have, just about like
Oh yeah, so like
just about decisions in life. You're
well,
kind of
that
just
and
like
I will say, with having her, like before having her, I hardly held newborn babies. I think your sisters, which I think it was Olivia, that was like the only other newborn I ever held. Like I did not want to hold. I'm kind of like your grandpa. I don't want to hold that baby. Like I just don't. They're so fragile. Like I do not want.
Mhm.
My
that
intrusive
doesn't make
thought
you-
is like I'm gonna drop this fucking baby.
yeah. The only I don't think
That was, yeah.
I maybe I did hold some of my
Hayden?
sisters. Yeah, but I remember holding Hayden because I was 16. It was
Yeah,
like I was really close to my sister's
I
age and
usually
everything
say
like that. You know
no.
what I mean?
think I held Phoenix, but like it was just like oh, like
It wasn't a lot. It was like once or twice. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Yeah.
I hardly held babies before I actually held mine. So I get like that, and then I guess are you scared though? What was the question? Are you
No, scared that new life depends on you.
new life depends on you? Yes and no. My yes is because like you really don't like anything can happen to them. I feel like as a mom, I wake up constantly to make sure she's breathing. Like it's just like one of those things. Like the intrusive thought you can have is like, did my baby get SIDS or like where it's
Yeah,
just
or
like, oh my God, are they
jaundice
okay?
or all these things.
Like anything. Like
well, no, yeah. So the scariest thing is that when you leave the hospital, obviously every new
the
parent,
car seat.
every new parent is like, first off, when you leave the hospital, they're like, you think they're gonna be like, hey, like we're gonna teach you all this stuff. It's kind of you leave it and you're like, are you sure we're good to go? And they're like, yeah. And it's like I don't know how to use this fucking car seat though. And we're like trying to figure out the car seat. Might have used it wrong a little bit, but we figured it out. We figured it
Basically,
out.
yeah. But no, but okay, so that's that, but no, why aren't you?
Why aren't I? Oh,
Like,
are you
know, 'cause
scared
it's
of a new life depending
like,
on
why
you?
aren't you?
Yeah, like so. Yes, the fear of not knowing anything, but I feel like that kind of goes away
I
after.
feel like instinct.
Yeah. But the first, like, I think after you kind of like, it's one of those things like it's
After
like,
you've had a month.
no, but the baby's sleep, like when the baby's sleeping, when she was first sleeping, and I was like looking at her as like all cute, and then all of a sudden I'm like, wait, is she breathing? And I would be like, touch the baby, and she'd be like,
Yeah.
move. I'm like, okay, gosh, good, making sure this baby's breathing. But that's one of those things that's
No,
like,
yeah,
you're
it's
like.
I think it's natural to be like, oh
Because
my
you're
God,
like, is it up a little bit? Like, can it breathe or not? Like, you don't know. But then, like you said, instinct comes in, and the
and
fact
you have
that,
to trust your instinct.
and you just have to trust that, like, hey, like, your parents didn't know anything until they had kids. Your grandparents didn't know
Yeah.
anything until they had kids.
And I think
then I
you
think like
literally, I think
the
you
way they were
figure
having
it
kids
out.
50 fucking to 100 years ago was far different than we are now. So I feel like we got a little bit.
Well, that and we have all these new things that like should help with that.
hmm
You know,
And what's something you learned as a new parent?
something I've learned that something I learned was that It got more soft, but I also got more hard.
At the same time.
Yeah.
I think, what did I learn? I learned that.
Listen,
I don't know.
nothing. Go ahead. I'll let you.
Well, it's something that kind of what I learned is that, like, but before, and this is not necessarily like learned as a new parent, but it's learned to like being an adult and having a kid is like you learn how much free time and stuff that you used to have. And you don't realize how much free time you used to have until you have a kid. And it's like, we can't even eat dinner together anymore. Like we do, but it's like, all right, let me hold the baby while you eat your food. You
Yeah.
hold the baby while I eat
So
my
you
food.
basically
You don't
figure it
watch
out.
anything anymore. You don't watch movies. You don't watch shows because
you
if
have
you
to figure
do,
it out.
it's just like
You're picking one thing or the other.
within
most of the
5
time.
minutes, you're distracted by the baby doing something or by you doing something or, hey, can you do this? Hey, can you warm up a bottle? Do this, blah, blah, blah. There's like
Yeah.
a
There's
lot of things. So I think
interruptions.
that's the biggest thing I learned is that like
Free time.
free time. And that's what somebody else told me. Like, you think you have free time until you have a kid. And then you realize how
Yeah.
much free time you used to have.
It was Tom.
Was it Tom? Shout out Blaker. Bed sharing / co-sleep. So basically, so the person asked, do you also lie to your doctor about bed sharing? And basically, right now we're just
We're co-sleeping.
we're co-sleeping.
Yes. So, which I feel like, imagine how much sleep we would have had if we just co-slept in the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because when she was in her, and granted, when
She
she's
had a
not
bedside
co-sleeping,
bassinet.
she's a bedside bassinet, which is also fine.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean,
I think the co-sleeping's
I think it's okay till a certain age, basically.
yeah.
Especially during the newborn stage when the
They
baby
need
wants to suck on
to.
the. It's like Lindsay will be asleep but she'll have her boob out and it's right next
Sometimes
to
I
the
don't
baby.
even know my boobs out, and
And then the
wake up,
baby,
I'm like,
she wakes
"Oh,
up and
what
the baby's
hell?"
like sucking
Yeah,
on
it's
it.
really it's very primal, but I will say I feel like I encourage bed sleeping or like the co-sleeping thing because I feel like it's natural. I don't think it's as dangerous as like I don't know. Like
Maybe it's dangerous if you have a lot of blankets and you're putting the baby underneath it, but it's
No,
like
yeah,
we sleep with 2 separate blankets
and basically I sleep with the blanket waist down because you obviously don't want it covering. She sleeps in like her little fleece little thing, your
sleepers. Yeah.
sleepers, and she's totally content. But I feel like our baby sweats a lot. But yeah, I think co-sleeping's fine. I wake up and I'm content that she's right there. Like I don't think I've woken up once with like worries of smashing or anything because it's just I don't know. Like you're more aware. I wake up still constantly
Mhm.
because I think it's just like my sleeping pattern. But she sleeps way better. She sleeps throughout. I feel like way more than what she
Yeah,
used
this
to.
baby will sleep sometimes from
Yeah,
8 to 4 a.m.
yeah. Which I mean, they say that you have to feed your baby like every so
They-
often,
they-
which
they-
I agree.
No, they say
to,
that, but like the fact that our
as they
baby
get bigger
eats,
too,
yeah, and
yeah,
she
she
eats
eats
so
so-
much during the day that it's
and
like
so often,
it'd be one thing if she was like not gaining weight. Our baby was like in the whatever they said, like
92nd.
yeah, they're like 92nd percentile. Like baby's gaining weight like crazy, basically.
Yeah, she was really good at doing that. But
Mhm.
I will say I did wake up to make like during those hours where they would say just to see if she would take
Oh, I
tit and
almost
she
forgot.
wouldn't.
And then the very first couple of days.
What?
Don't judge me for this, people. But the very first couple of days, there's always a saying like "Don't shake a baby."
Oh my
I-
god.
And the first couple of days is like it was when we were in the hospital and we're already on like 40. We've been up for 48 hours and like then we sleep and then I'm waking up and I'm trying to like feed the baby, and I'm trying to feed it and the baby's just crying. Lindsay's just crying, and I having it. And then like the nurse came in like the next day and was like, "Now never shake a baby. Like just want to let you know, like the baby, it's okay if the baby
Just
cries.
put the-
Just
if
put the
you're- if
baby
it-
down, let it cry.
and
The
walk
baby
away.
can cry, walk away, blah blah." And then, but it wasn't until I was like holding a baby, like sleep deprived at like 3 a.m. I was like, "Oh, I get why they say don't shake a baby."
As
Like,
if him saying that's gonna make me feel
yeah, I
any.
tell her that. She's like, "Why would you tell me that?" I'm just saying. I get why that's a saying.
No,
Don't shake a baby.
Yes, there's people that can't handle that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Mike is one not skin.
Yeah. And then baby must have advice, supplies, books, prep stuff.
I would say be in shape beforehand. I think that helped me. I think because prior, I was working out. I lost weight. I had gotten down to like 122. I think my weight that I was having was like 130 that I was staying at forever. And then I finally started losing weight the past couple of months before getting pregnant. Um, I feel like having some kind of like I don't know what to say, like how to say it. Like if you're already working out way ahead of time, if you're planning to have a baby, be in shape beforehand because it is like a workout, the whole thing,
Whole pregnancy.
birth, all that. You're gonna thank yourself for being in shape because I think that along with breastfeeding helped me kind of not I don't want to say like gain a ton of weight or keep a lot of baby weight,
Hmm.
but like it kept it down and I feel like if I wouldn't have been in shape, it would have been so much harder, so much difficult, right? Like I
Hmm.
don't know, like I feel like it would be yeah, cuz I don't know, carrying all her, I don't know, for my size was a lot. The last couple of weeks were really hard for me.
Hmm. And then
And
I'll do the classic dad advice is basically whatever guy was telling me when we were ready, it was just like as much as you want to prepare, like help your wife with whatever baby stuff, you know what I mean? In the sense of like nursery, whatever she needs. But also, like when you're trying to prepare mentally, it's hard. It's hard to get in that mindset that you're gonna have a kid,
yeah.
especially if the kid's not there.
And listen, all you say is you just agree with a baby mama. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
you do not question her on stuff.
You
You know,
just
you
agree
just
with it,
you agree with it.
and then
And I also think,
mm-hmm.
like for some stuff, there are things I say a nose sucker. That was good. The Frida
Yeah.
nose sucker. I feel like we use that a lot in cheat because she has like big boogers.
And if you guys don't know what that is, it's so weird. It's like
We suck the snot.
yeah, I
out.
remember. So at our baby shower, I remember that, and then Harold was like, "Oh, you don't even know what this is, Mike." He was like, "You suck the boogers out of your baby's nose," and I remember thinking, I was like, "Ew," but like,
It's really good.
yeah, I mean,
It works really good.
it works really good. It's not really good. Let's be clear there. Yeah, that books we haven't.
I didn't do. I feel like there's so much on the internet that you can find stuff like even reels on Instagram. I feel like I learned a lot. Like because
And
once
as soon
you
as
start,
you get pregnant, everyone's gonna tell you their own opinion and their own advice.
yes,
that just
that
is what it is.
another thing.
But
no, some of it's good and some of it is
I was
like
gonna say after
unnecessary.
So like yeah, like you went through it, and some of it is unnecessary, but some of it's very helpful.
yes,
So just take everything with a grain of salt, kind of.
no, somewhat, and like some of it is good, and it's mostly people that you don't know to like, or some of it was really useful, or some of it was just like, I'm going to add my 2 cents. And like, it wasn't like, hey, do you want advice? It was more like, I'm just going to give you all this advice right now because for some reason I feel entitled that I need to tell you this advice. If you're not, I feel like if you're not asking me for advice, or if I ask you like, hey, do you want to know my advice? Like I feel like that's way better than piling someone up with stuff that
Mhm.
like my thing was every pregnancy.
These women just don't have filters, you guys.
They fucking don't. Like the thing is too, like every pregnancy, labor and delivery, like it's even babies are all different. Like every experience is gonna be so different than what someone's gonna be like trying to feed you. Like you don't. Can you hear that?
Can you guys hear that? They're fucking redoing the apartments above us.
Anyway.
Just a fucking drill comes through here.
Oh my god!
Well,
Imagine.
dude, there was a dust hella over here, so I wonder if it was no like dirt, like when me and Duffy weren't here for 2 months.
What were they doing?
I don't know what they're doing.
Anyway,
there.
people are gonna give you advice. Just say thank you. That's all you got to say. But if you do want useful advice, ask me. I will give you really good advice. But my thing is, Frida nose sucker, a baby carrier. Our baby's barely using it. Like almost 2 months. She's finally like. There's some stuff that they won't use.
We have
but
like
it
a
will
mediocre
use.
stroller. I would say invest in a good stroller.
Yeah, because my thing was I didn't.
But
want
I
us
also
to
get if you don't
expensive
want
one.
to when they're $500 fucking dollars. So
Well, I think it depends on the parent. Because someone that doesn't do a lot of outdoor stuff like we do or trying to run,
Mhm.
they'd benefit from the ones that are like cheaper. But we probably should have got something that was going to grow with us instead of like, oh, fuck, now we should. Our tires are worn out because we decided to use the stroller beforehand.
To get the dogs
our dogs
ready.
to get
Oh,
used
the
to 'em.
dogs.
Well,
And-
duh, it's on the list,
I
silly.
know, but I somehow skipped it. But dogs. So everyone's asking us how are our dogs with it. We had a dog's Beans who's like anxiety ridden and stuff like that, and Moose. And honestly, Beans calmed down with having a baby. She
A
loves the
lot more.
baby. She wants to check on the baby every time she comes
She
in.
came Nana
They're
Beans.
neither of them are jealous of the baby. They're just
No.
more just like, what's up with the
Content.
baby? Like looking at it, they want to lick the baby. They want to
Like,
be
has
all up in his
anything
face.
changed with us and the dogs? I would say they're outside a
They're
little
outside more for sure, but not too crazy. Nothing.
No, I feel like it's almost
They still sleep
about the
inside with
same.
us. Like they're still fine.
It's still in the same room. We're just more aware of where they're at and what they're doing.
Mhm.
At least I am.
And then we know that like because sometimes we don't always go on walks every single day, that we have to try to get the dogs out and
Yeah,
about.
and I would say if you have animals beforehand, make sure you give them a little bit of attention. You know, you don't want to like completely change up their life. I think that would have been more traumatizing. I think we introduced like some of the stuff that was for the baby to them so that they weren't like completely like, what the fuck is
But you're
this?
a lot more meaner to the dogs than I am. Still.
Yeah, well, that's my motherly instinct. Hence why I followed someone randomly in a car. But
Yeah. I still go to the dogs and I go, it's okay.
No,
Moose,
yeah.
Moose, I love
but
you
I also
know
think
that."
it would have been really useful if we found someone that could walk them for us, like when we can't. Like, so if I would suggest if you're someone that's not going to be at home often,
Yeah,
you
if
know
your
what
dog's
they're-
already outside, whatever. But if you have inside dogs and
plan
you're gonna
someone to
start,
walk your dogs, or like someone that comes a couple times a week to interact with your dog and give them that attention, because they will know. I feel like Moose he's kind of like more like,
Mhm.
hey, I want like this. Like he's more like, I don't know.
yeah, if you sit on the couch,
He's
he just
mushy.
rolls on you. And
Like he's not self-aware. Like he's coming around the baby more. I feel like he's trying to be like, oh, what are we doing over here? But he's not.
But if you pet him, he's like,
aware.
I'll just roll on top of you right now.
I'll roll on top of this baby. Like
I
he
don't care.
doesn't. He doesn't realize how like dog. You know your dog better than anyone, so you have to feed off that energy or know their needs. I think too.
Yep.
But Beans is really good.
Yeah, Beans is way better than we thought it would be.
Yes.
Because she used to bark all the time at every single noise.
Now hardly.
and now
like, not too
we just
much.
threatened her with going outside every single time, and now she kind of.
Yeah.
And then the last thing is, what did you wish you knew before that you know now? And I think we kind of covered that in a lot of things here,
Yeah.
honestly.
I mean, my advice is anyone that plans to get pregnant or has gotten pregnant, be in shape. Have a birth plan. If you don't know what that is,
Be in shape, or
look
at the
it
very
up.
least, start going on walks. Like
yes,
that's really like
you really need to. Honestly, it's like it's its whole thing. You're gonna bounce back faster. So, birth plan, be in shape. I would say, look at I feel like reels. Like I learned a lot through watching Instagram reels, because once you start watching some, like a lot pop up.
yeah. There's a whole bunch of
I learned a
YouTube. There's a whole
lot
bunch of
on
YouTube
there.
channels. There's a whole
YouTube
bunch.
I would
yeah.
use. You do not need. I don't think books.
Yeah,
I
this
don't think
this day and age, there's so many.
there's so much other stuff that you can have that's useful material that you would learn, like all this stuff. But I definitely recommend a birth plan, because there's some that are already pre-made, which or that's how I made mine off of. And you'll learn like basic little things that you can add to it. Like, and if you're unsure of what that thing is, look it up. Like I said, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of girls that wouldn't know what an episiotomy is. Like, I feel like I'm not going to name people that they didn't know. Like, oh, I didn't know that you can ask for that,
Mm-hmm.
or
Yeah,
that you can.
And sometimes your OB, and depending on who you have, kind of makes it feel like there's only one way to have a baby.
No, like
that's not true.
inducing and stuff.
Like there's birthing centers, and birthing centers, everyone has a birth plan, everything like that. With hospitals, there's some old school doctors that are like, no, I do things my way, blah, blah, blah. That's not the case. So like if you have one of those doctors,
you can always fire
can-
someone.
yeah,
and
yeah.
Get someone else.
and like the thing is, if you have a doctor, basically my piece of advice is like, if you have a doctor and you don't feel like this doctor is
You can
caring
always
to
get
you the
someone
need,
else.
just go ahead, try somebody else. And you can go ahead, try somebody
think
else. And do that those
basically we had a
earlier
few.
months than those later months, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, we found ours in our later months, but
Yeah, like the dude, yeah. And so in a lot of places, so basically sometimes you'll have an OB and they'll be assigned to you. But like 3 OBs will be in charge of everybody at that clinic, right? So
Yeah.
sometimes you'll see this other OB, and sometimes you'll see another OB, and that's just because the other OB is literally at the hospital delivering babies. And so
Yeah.
that's how we found Dr. Ramos, is that we had a different OB, then he came in and he was just super personable.
We're like-
And I think if you have somebody that's super personable, then
Or whoever you feel comfortable
whoever you
with,
feel comfortable
know?
with. But if somebody is personable with you, then like that's
And
a good.
obviously
That's a
know your rights.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you do not need to follow it. Like if they're saying like you're gonna, like they told me I had to be induced, like they were going to.
Oh yeah,
that
they're
Monday.
like if you don't have the baby by next Tuesday, then we're gonna induce
No,
you.
like yeah, we're scheduled to induce, and like we kind of.
And you don't have to do that. As much as they say like, oh, we need to induce
Listen,
you.
I was kind of almost for it only because I was like, listen, I cannot.
But she
have
was
this
like, I
baby
gotta
in-
get this.
Yeah,
baby
I had to
out.
get her
I wanna
out.
Get this
But
baby
know
out.
your rights. Know what I feel like you need to know the drugs that they'll like put in you, or the things that they will do to you.
Mhm.
Like you should definitely look those up. Like what drugs they will pump into you.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't want to go in.
Just do your own research, basically.
Yes.
Do your own research. That way, at least you have an
Yes.
idea. And then if you say something, the doctor, as long as you have a good OB, if the doctor says something, then the
They're gonna
doctor will be like,
follow.
ask
They're
you
not gonna
about
fight
it.
you on
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
And if your OB does try to do that, unless you're like, like a high risk pregnancy, I don't think they have any right to be like, we're not going to do that. Like,
Mhm.
no.
And then in closing, anything else? I mean, I think we covered a lot more.
If you got more questions,
Yeah.
you can slide.
So
in my
basically-
DMs.
Thank you guys. We truly, truly appreciate it. If any more questions, message me, message Lindsey.
Don't message Micah unless it's like.
I mean, I'm not going to respond.
he's
but,
not. He's not gonna know.
I have 20,000 followers.
Oh
I
my
can't
God.
respond. Oh my
But
God.
if you're a female and you got questions that I did not cover or whatever, you can hit me up.
Feel free to reach out. And thank you guys so much. We truly, truly appreciate it. Season 6 is coming out sometime next year. We don't know when. We don't know how.
That is gonna be.
And we don't know how
interesting,
either
too.
because we have a baby now. And if you ever think that you don't have a lot of free time before you have a kid, well, you don't have a lot of free time after you have
So
a kid. You
I
guys.
recommend if you don't have a baby, do
Live it
all
up.
you can.
Do all you can. Leave nothing back.
Ah.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it happened. We are how many weeks pregnant?
We're gonna say 38 because we're already almost
38 weeks pregnant at this moment, and we thought it was a perfect time to do a podcast. We're on the brink of having a child. We got our dogs here today. This is Beans. And we thought it'd be fun to do a podcast now,
Yeah.
like a 30, 45-minute podcast now, and then a 30 to 45-minute podcast after we have the little baby Izzy.
Yeah.
And so, hey, dogs,
They know something's up.
they know something's up. But so walk me through the stages of first trimester, second trimester, and third
I think-
trimester.
First and third are harder. I think second was nice. Second was when I got my energy, got my groove back, felt good, could eat.
Yeah, dude, the first one was rough for me. I agree.
Why was it rough for you?
Because remember, I toasted bread one time, and she was yelling downstairs like, "Oh my gosh, what did you cook? That smells disgusting. Oh my god!" And I was like, "I just toasted bread." Or if I made
was
coffee
really
too.
hard.
If I made coffee,
Yeah, coffee was disgusting. I didn't like the smell of coffee. I think mentally too was more, I think, bad. Or I feel like it was like lightweight
you were just like,
depression or like just going through a lot of emotions. Like where I was just like, oh man, I had all these opportunities.
your body
lined up,
started
too.
growing a freaking placenta. I was like, "Oh yeah, we got to do this thing now." Isn't that crazy?
That's
I
a
don't
whole-
think I really realized
a
girls.
placenta is a whole other.
Yeah,
organ
like I
that
don't
we
think I
grow.
really realized that. If I'm being honest, like a placenta is like a organ that the female body grows,
And
and,
then-
like what I was just like, yeah, what, like I was like, whatever. Like my sisters had a lot of kids. Oh, sorry, my sisters had kids. She's at 4. It's not a lot, but
3 more than us.
yeah. What I'm saying is, I can't imagine myself with 4 kids. That's really what I'm saying. Because I remember one day I looked at her and I was like, I don't know how you do it. I spent like 2 hours with the kids.
Almost blew my brains out.
Yeah. But before we got on that detour, the first trimester.
Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah.
No, not physically. It was just more like
Yeah, you throwing
was
up and stuff.
so sick, so disgusted with everything. Then mentally, it was really hard just because it was just all my hormones were crazy and there was all kinds of things just happening at once, especially because I started a new job. And then I think I had other stuff lined up that I was like looking for. And I even told you that month, I was like,
Do not get me pregnant.
do not get me pregnant. I cannot afford to get pregnant right now. And I think that's what I was holding on to.
Yeah, we had like not been using birth control for like
Over a year.
year and a half. And
Yeah.
I just figured maybe it's me. It's me. I'm the problem. It's me.
And then we found out, oh no, he could.
The little engine that could.
That we're gonna call it.
Yeah. But and then the second trimester you really picked up.
Right?
Or yeah.
Oh, it was so good. It's like a light switch. Like I was like, oh my God. I can smell coffee. I can eat stuff without gagging, without looking at our dogs disgusted from them slobbering. Remember when Moose did that? Oh, that was terrible.
Moose,
oh
come
my
here.
God, that was so
Moose,
gross.
Come on. Look, this guy literally is so
Fat
and treat driven. Like he would sell us off.
He would.
For a one little.
Like you think he's
Cheez-It.
loyal, but like if someone had a snack and
he would just be like, "Oh, I don't care about anything anymore.
fuck it, help yourself.
Yeah.
Kill them. I don't care.
Yeah, kill him. I don't care."
Is that a crumb?
Yeah, I was trying to get his attention, but and then Beans is I don't know.
Beans is a whole different story. She's a real
Yeah, but Moose,
another
when you eat food, sorry, we got sidetracked. But when you eat food, Moose will just drool. Like he'll just be staring at you, and sometimes he doesn't drool, and then sometimes he just like salivates out of his mouth crazily
and
on
he
top
did that
of you.
One time when I was
In
actually
the bed.
hungry, and Micah made
the bed,
a great
right?
quesadilla.
Yeah.
And we were just sitting there, and I was like, "Oh my God, I haven't eaten. This is going to be so good." And as I was eating, I just look, and he's just staring at me, and a big thing of drool just drops from him, and I just immediately run to the toilet and throw up the quesadilla I started eating. And I was like, "Great."
Any other times you got really sick?
I know, like driving. Remember when we would drive, I would gag a lot.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, "Can you not?" Because we would drive past like food places, and I would just think about the food and get disgusted.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
What else happened in second trimester? I feel like
You
there
were
was all
active
kinds of
more.
stuff.
You were walking a lot.
ran a race,
You ran a race, got first in your age.
and then I was like, "That's it. I can't run anymore."
Outrun
after
the
that.
Sun Merced, which apparently we have to change the name because there's already another race or something like that called that. But I'm like, there can be two races called that. Outrun the Sun. Just
What else?
Beans ass up in the podcast.
Face down, ass up. That's how we got pregnant.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Hi, family members listening to this. Hi, how's it going, you guys? No. Yeah, and then third trimester, it started okay. And
yeah,
it's just
because I
been
was
harder.
like,
It just been harder as it goes
yes, like energy wise, and I think just my body, like, oh my God, like I just tip over. And then I'm more, I think, frustrated with you. Because then I get like, I think it's more like jealousy. Like you can do stuff and I can't.
Yeah.
Like even just like getting off the couch and rolling out of bed, fine. Like,
Mm-hmm. Sleeping all the way through the night.
yeah, that one really pisses me off.
Sleeping heavily through the
Yeah,
night.
you don't even, I'll always ask him like, oh, did I wake you up? Did you hear me get up all those times? Like I got up like 8 times. Did you feel me get up and like roll out of bed and everything? And you're like, no.
Yeah.
Oh, when we argued, remember we had an argument too?
I was asleep through it, so it doesn't count.
Did not have any recollection.
Yeah. Well, what happened?
I don't know. It was something, and we were arguing, and you were just like, I don't know. We were going at it for a while, and I was just like, whatever. And then the next morning, you like came up to me, like, because I was still in bed, and you were trying to be like all lovey-dovey, and I was like, no, we're not friends. And you're like, what are you talking about? I was like, we fought last night, and you're like, No,
Oh yeah,
we
yeah.
didn't. And I was like, yes, we did.
Yeah, you're trying to be mad at me in the morning of something that I had no recollection of.
Okay, but I
You're
did.
like, we fought last night. I'm like, okay, did we? Because I don't remember.
Okay, so just because you don't remember, it didn't happen.
What was it over, the blanket or something?
I don't know. But I know you always, like, sometimes you steal, like, the pillows I'm putting between my legs, or, like, you snatch them and I have to, like, grab them
Oh,
back.
my favorite is the one time you were sleeping, just out of sleep, and I just yanked the only pillow you had. I had, like, 2 pillows already. I just yanked it, like, while I was asleep.
Oh, yeah, and it
underneath
woke
your
me up
head.
and scared, like, startled me awake.
I
And, like,
just started-
I just seen the back of your head flip over with the
Yeah.
pillow.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then,
I think we're just so tired, right? I think, right? It's, like, catching up.
yeah, well, I'm just like, yeah, what are your overall feelings about,
I want it out.
you want it out now?
Yeah, I think we're ready.
I mean,
It just depends on
we're as ready as we're gonna be. That's for sure.
No, yeah, I think we're pretty prepared. There's, like, a few things we still need to...
We got
Yeah.
we got a rocker or whatever that is. Those chairs are called.
A chair.
Yeah, but they like move a lot for the baby. Never shake a baby.
What else? What else can we talk about? How do you think the day is gonna go?
Dude,
I want to hear your perspective. Do you want me to tell mine and then
yeah, go ahead.
maybe yours?
Yeah, go ahead. Tell yours first.
Okay.
And I'll see what mine is. Because I don't know, but go on.
Well, think about it.
Okay.
I think my water's gonna break like spontaneously, like out of nowhere. I'm gonna like, oh fuck, and I'm gonna be at home doing something. And if I guess if your water does break, you have to go straight there.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know how much of that is true.
I think
feel like-
sometimes people can have the kid like right after, and other times people can have the
Yeah,
kid
but
like a few hours
and we
later.
don't know because everything's always fucking.
We don't know.
It's
yeah.
so different.
We don't know.
But
a
I think
lot.
it's gonna say that we know.
We know.
We,
But like everyone who's watching this who
Sorry
already
about
has
that,
kids
blah,
is
blah.
like, no, you guys don't know yet. You know what I mean?
awesome. I hate when people do that though. When
Hey.
they're just like,
Get ready.
no, and they're just like,
Get ready.
are you guys ready? Do you like get sleep now? And I'm like, I have not had sleep since I got pregnant, so
I've been getting
Whatever.
I've been getting tons of sleep, you guys.
he's getting all the sleep.
I remember I used to
for
wake up at
us.
5 a.m. and now I sleep until like 6:30 every day.
And then what else?
I gained 15 pounds. Yeah. Well, I guess one of my favorite things about pregnancy is, I guess, eating.
Oh yeah, that was your favorite thing. You're like the food. I'm like, I mean, I guess that's like something, but
Yeah, I had to cut the mullet off. I was looking
a little raggedy.
raggedy, ugly, and old. I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm 30. I'm not.
I'm gonna be a dad. I need to clean myself up.
I was looking like
Still need to get some New Balances.
I was looking like a 38-year-old white trash dude with my mullet. But pictures of me with my mullet.
People liked it though.
People liked it. I liked
You
it
became
too.
a character.
Yeah, exactly. And I enjoy. I mean, I might grow it out one day again.
I think you'll do it next summer.
It's got yeah.
But I think it just got overwhelming.
Oh, I never cut the back of it, which is crazy.
Yeah,
It was like halfway down my back.
it wasn't halfway down your back. Halfway down your back's like,
I grew it out for a year and a half.
Yeah.
That's the longest ever.
then you kept saying like, why didn't I grow it all around? You know how much weirder you would look. I think,
Yeah, I
with a
probably
whole
would have
full
looked
head.
at. I probably look even look weirder
You know who I thought of?
if I had like a thick head of hair, maybe.
Remember when Phil had his long hair and he wore his ponytail with it?
Freaking Phil in his long hair, man,
His orange shirt.
in his orange shirt.
Okay, we're going off topic
Yeah.
again. What were we saying? This is what happens.
We were talking about
Betas.
Oh no, how you think the day's gonna go?
Oh, my water's gonna spontaneously break. I'm gonna be like, oh my god, and you're gonna be somewhere.
I'm gonna be golfing tomorrow. Golfing with the boys.
And the only reason he's going golfing is because I was like, all right, then I gotta get something out of it. You can't just go. I'll allow it.
Getting her nails done.
But yeah, I'm gonna get my nails done. I need a little pampering.
Sunday is for golfing, football,
Oh,
and watching my fantasy team lose.
we're having a contraction.
This baby's coming out now. We're
We're doing it live.
doing it live on this podcast. But
Okay, so spontaneous.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be somewhere, and I'm gonna be like, "Oh my god," because we only have the one car right now. I'm gonna panic. My mom's gonna be at work, and I'm gonna have to walk to the hospital.
You're not gonna walk.
Well, how are you gonna get to me?
Call me or call Bernadine. Call.
What if
anybody.
they're somewhere too?
They're like, sorry, we're on another
What-
trip.
Do you have something to say? Do you have something to say?
We're staying at the.
Am I going into labor, Moose? Is that why
Oh,
you're
wait,
up
he did that to me too.
here? Go
Moose,
go.
move.
get. Ow.
And then what
Okay.
happens?
Well, anyway, hopefully that doesn't happen. But we get to the hospital, and I think I have our bags prepared. I don't know. I mean, it's just more crazy because it's like you don't know what to expect, especially since it's your, I'm not gonna know the pain or anything
Uh-huh.
till like I actually go through it, which is crazy. But I'm hoping.
Well, your body was designed to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but a lot of people now, like,
Get the epidural.
no, yeah. So it's a little bit harder. I don't know. Like,
Mhm.
people are just like, why would you do that? Like, why would you put yourself through pain or whatever?
That's like natural though.
No, yeah.
Doesn't your body
right?
release some type of its own?
Relaxing.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't
that's
know what it is.
like it
We
loosens up
we
your
took one
ligaments and stuff.
class during this.
This is more for Micah. It was more for Micah to kind of don't
Hey,
eat that
hey,
toy.
hey.
Don't. Oh, she ate it.
Hey,
Oh,
Hey, drop it!
Drop
Drop it!
it. Oh,
Bitch. Ow! Beans, come here.
this is gonna be.
Fuck.
This is a
Hey,
highlight
dude,
of how our
Beans.
parenting is gonna be.
Don't eat that shit, dude.
Oh my god, you can't do that on the air.
I don't.
You're gonna have to cut that out. We don't believe in soft parenting.
We're gonna spank our kids.
You still didn't get it, like,
Dude, come here.
just get up and get it.
Hey, ow! Ow!
You're scaring
Beans.
Moose.
She's gonna
She ate it.
look at this. I'm gonna do a close up on that nasty ass saliva. Yeah. As you were saying.
What was I saying? I don't. This is
you're
pregnancy
going-
brain.
No, you were just talking about you don't know what the pain's gonna be like.
Yeah. So I mean, I think I'm hoping I have a fast labor. I mean, I'm hoping that my body just goes into its own zone. I feel like a lot of people are just like, you need to breathe through it and everything. And it's like, yeah, but I mean, like you can only tell someone like what to do, but I think you're gonna naturally react how you're gonna react.
Mhm.
And I think I'll be okay. I think it's gonna obviously hurt, but I also am, like I said, I want to treat it as a race or like a workout.
Yeah, it's
You have
just
to put
like
when you have, it's only like 90 seconds, I think, is like a contraction. Like that's
Like
what
a-
you got to like just.
you're just like in like a CrossFit exercise, and you love CrossFit, so just think
I mean,
of it
I
that
haven't done
way.
a CrossFit workout in forever either.
Well,
But I'm saying like,
when you were trying to pull me in, you were doing CrossFit exercises all
okay,
the time.
you're skinny too, so stop when you were trying to pull me in.
I was 165, and I thought I was gaining weight rapidly then. Because I was like, dude, I was like 140 for a while.
No, but when you got
135.
with me, how much did you weigh? I think I was 119.
I think 165, 160 probably. I was still pretty small. I was still real small.
And then you got real
I'm
big.
almost 50 pounds more than that. That sounds like a lot.
When you say it out loud, huh?
When you say it out loud. But I digress.
But I think, because I think it's just going to be you and my mom. And I'm hoping you guys do what I asked you to do, which is just make sure I'm comfortable. And then just like make sure I'm drinking fluids and like kind of
Mhm.
letting me do my own thing. Tell me things, like the things I told you to tell me during it or whatever. Just make sure it's cold, it's not hot. And I'm just ride through it.
Just right
And
through
I'm
it.
hoping get through it naturally.
Mm-hmm.
And I really hope I hope my vagina doesn't rip to my asshole.
Please, if you guys want to donate now.
What? What are they going
to
to
stop
donate?
the cause of? I'm just kidding.
But I think that's when they're telling you to push that it rips. You have to like let your body do like let your body navigate you when you need to push and not really listen to them telling you like you need to push.
Well, I mean, I'm sure you got to push the whole time.
No, your body's contracting.
I'm simply a man.
Anyway, go ahead and think how your day is gonna go.
Okay.
I think
You're
you're gonna
gonna-
do good. I think you're gonna be fine.
This is what I think is going to happen. I think, like you said, maybe I won't be home. And then I'm going to be somewhere. And you're going to call me. And then I'm instantly going to have like a 3-minute freak out. Just fucking calling probably.
Duffy,
Yeah, exactly.
the baby's coming. What do I do? Watch it
Calling the most random people.
Duffy, I apologize if I go into labor on your wedding and I'm gonna have to steal Micah back. And someone's gonna have to. Your parents are gonna have to bring you back,
And we will
and
find
it's gonna
out.
take all the like, what's it called? It's gonna be in the middle of the ceremony.
We're going to find out in the second
Part
half.
two.
Yeah, part 2.
Imagine
of this,
if
this
you
podcast.
What if your mom stands up and they're like, "Is there anyone like have anything to say during this?" And
No one
mom's
does
gonna
that
stand up and
anymore,
be like, "Micah, we gotta go."
we gotta go, and then I'm just gonna rush home or to the hospital, I guess, wherever, probably home, and then
Oh no, he's stuck on the wire. There you go.
and then I'm going to, yeah, I just feel like I'll be like fucking amped up, honestly.
Listen, I can't have you amped up. I need you like.
No, I'm just saying, like till we get to the hospital. Like,
No, not even then. I told you, I was like, I do not want to see you panicking or you like this, like where you chew your tongue or the side of your cheek and you're
I
like
do
this.
that all the time.
No, but I'm saying if I see you going like this and like freaking out, it's gonna freak me out, and I'm gonna tell you get the fuck out. Like I cannot, because I'm gonna be like, listen, Micah, you're stressing me out by looking at
Yeah.
you.
I think once it comes down to it, I'm thinking it's gonna be crazier than it is. That's what I
Oh
think.
no, I think it's gonna be crazy.
Oh no, don't get me wrong. I think it's gonna be crazy.
I think
Don't get me
it's-
wrong.
Our
But
whole
I
life's
think
about
that
to
like it's slowly gonna get crazier versus like it's not like we're gonna get there and you know I mean we don't know, but it's gonna be like a process. You know what I mean?
How do you think? Okay, what about delivery though? Like during that time, what is gonna go through your mind? Like as like I'm like and the doctor's like she's a come look over here, Dad.
I thought
No, I'm okay. It's okay.
I think I'm just gonna stay by your head.
You don't want to see.
I don't want to see that.
You don't want to see what you did to me.
No, and then I'll
Not catch the baby.
no, I'll just see the baby when it comes out.
You're
Yeah.
gonna be like, ugh.
What's all over it? It's a blood.
Ew,
So-
gross. What is that?
I think I'll be more confused when the placenta's coming. I'm like, do I need to stay here with you? You know what I mean?
All right, I gotta go grab some snacks.
No, like,
The cafeteria closes, so I might really want to go down there and check it out first before.
yeah.
You're fine, right? No, it like comes like I think 5 or 20 minutes afterwards,
That's
and
what
my
I'm
body's
saying.
still contracting, which is still
Yeah.
so wild.
But I think when it comes down to it, I'll be a little more like I think I'd just naturally be good for a little bit.
God, it took you a while to say that. I was like, where are you going?
I don't
with this?
know. Honestly, I've just been anxious for like the past like 3,
Have you?
4
Because
weeks.
it doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, no, I have.
Really?
Yeah, I've been telling people that. It's like just a weird anxious feeling.
Yeah, you've been telling people that.
Yeah, when people ask me.
What have okay? Because I get all kinds of people like in my DMs and like just random,
Uh-huh.
advice, and just like super random talks. But what have you had? Like, what have your friends or people just been telling? Like, I want to know from a dad's perspective because I feel like dads get almost like an easy way out. Like, you guys don't have to like deal with a lot of stuff that happens with like us, like or like a woman transitioning into a mother.
Yeah.
Like there's like it's so much information that people are putting all kinds of pressure on a woman, and sometimes
everyone
they
has their own
overstep.
or
And
they
everyone has an
their own
opinion, and for
opinion
some
about
reason they
everything.
feel like they need to tell you their opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like, well, it might work for you, but how do I don't know.
Mhm.
It's like it goes into a rabbit hole. But I'm curious, like, how was it for you, pregnancy? Like, what, like, anything related to like our pregnancy? Like, what did you have? Get asked, or you be told?
I mean, guys, I think it's almost like 90% of the time. It's like, you ready? And it's like, I go, as ready as I can be. And they go, yeah, pretty much.
I hate guys.
Like, that's a lot of them. Some people give me some advice, but like nothing that's like,
I gotta get more comfortable. Ugh.
like Chris called me one time and he was just telling me like, he was like, because I was like so focused on the day of the pregnancy. He was just like, that's not. He's like that goes by like super quick, but like it's like he was like it's like the time afterwards when you're like, oh man, like I don't know anything. You know what I mean?
When you have the baby,
Yeah. When you have the baby, you know what I
it's
mean?
with us,
And
then everyone's kind of done, like
yeah,
asking you
exactly.
for anything or whatever.
And it's like we get for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, we have to take care of something for the rest of our lives.
Mm-hmm. We do. Yeah, but that's about.
Really? That's all?
Yeah, and some guys know they call and they kind of, but it's like all like practical stuff. So if you think like, they'd be like, they talk about like sleeping schedule stuff like it's like how to try to make your life easier type stuff.
Okay,
I
go
guess.
ahead.
I don't remember it really though, but it's not just like, just have your shifts basically, like with your wife on the baby. At least like, yeah, they said like the first 3 months might. Everyone says the first 3 months are just crazy, basically,
Which
with
is,
sleeping
like-
and stuff. But they just say then after that, it's like after you get into a schedule, be like, all right, you're these days or these times, and if the baby wakes up, it's yours, and then I'm these times. You know what I mean?
If it wakes up, it's yours.
It's yours. It's yours to deal with.
Basically, I'm night shift, and Micah's part-time day shift.
I'm splitting a shift with Sylvia.
You're like, I don't remember. I don't.
I don't remember the baby crying.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, just I don't think nothing too crazy. It's more just like you can't prepare for it. I mean, you can prepare for it somewhat, but at the end of the day, it's like once you're there and doing it and living it, like I think for sure after the baby's born, I'm gonna have like one.
You think you'll go into more of a dad mode because she's actually here?
Yeah,
then you're
for
gonna be
sure
like,
we'll go in a.
Oh, she's real.
Oh, I think everything will
So
change.
good.
Yeah, as soon as I think I'll cry when you're giving birth. Honestly,
Like cry, like as in like
when she's born, I think.
like when you see her.
Yeah.
She's like, oh my god, maybe I shouldn't name you Stizzy.
Oh, her name's Izzy. Short for
Blizzy.
Izzysaurus.
Izzy Saurus.
I don't know. Don't you think this is just so random? I'm so sorry, but
Go ahead.
don't you think that rhinos should be considered dinosaurs?
This is what I have to fucking. Can you do this when I'm going into labor? Like, just come up with. I need you to get because I'm hoping. I'm hoping you're funny. I want to say
They tell me I'm not going to be funny during
no.
it.
I know, but it would be a good distraction, depending on how much pain I'm in. But like randomly. But a rhino.
Doesn't a rhino seem like it's a dinosaur?
At that point, you have to put elephants and hippos on that list.
Yeah, but you'd
I
actually
would
be surprised how much bigger a rhino is
Okay.
than a hippo.
Wait. I mean, an alligator is a dinosaur.
I guess alligators probably the closest.
Crocodile.
Crocodile would probably be the closest thing.
Wait, why? Why crocodile over alligator?
Crocodiles are older than alligators.
Are they?
I don't know. I want to say
Why
they are.
do you always do that? Like you always
But
like.
I'm pretty positive
So-
crocodiles because Joe Rogan always talks about crocodiles and them being like I think they're alligators are
You
descendant
know
of
what you
them, but
need to do is get an Alexa in here and just fucking ask her. Like, but then again, sometimes she's not.
yeah, I need to get some
gives you the wrong-
historians and shit, like somebody who can just go deep on. Hey, but Yeah. So
Okay. But before you said that, what were we talking about?
I think just
Izzyosaurus. That's why you
oh
brought
yeah.
up dinosaurs.
Yeah.
This is-
So
Oh my God.
this is my brain. But it's pregnancy brain, you guys. Sorry. Oh, and then today I walked around with watermelon on for a little while.
Mhm. It wasn't hard for Micah, but yet he did all this in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, but it was good. Like it was
But
hard.
imagine doing it for like
And like the socks were like a lot harder than I thought they'd be. And you can't tie your shoe.
and you were
And
like
bending over sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really sucks.
So,
Are we gonna do this again?
what? Watermelon?
Pregnancy is stupid. Why would we do watermelon again?
We're
Oh
doing
my
it.
God.
We're doing it again with
The
watermelon.
watermelon?
I don't know.
Maybe adoption, huh?
Maybe or like I think every dude wants a son, but I mean I'm just happy to have a baby. But it's like a weird primal thing. Like I want my last name to carry on. No one in my family has got married and had a kid yet, so I need to have the kid with the same last name as me.
You think that's how your dad felt like when he finally got a boy?
Yeah, I think when they're on their third child,
Was he-
little
Do you think he was
little
like,
accident, Micah was born, and they're
He's like,
like,
"Oh,
"Thank God."
you know, it was no
Hey.
accident. He probably planned it.
At least it was another boy. Another boy. At least
Who's
it was
a boy,
boy.
Samantha or Nicole?
Well, it depends the way you look.
You're
Just kidding.
It hurts to laugh.
Yeah, but all right. But how should we end this half of the podcast?
Sorry, I thought they were gonna do something right there. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I know there was a lot of things I probably could have talked about, and my brain is just like mashed potatoes.
Mm-hmm. That sounds good,
I
huh?
know. Yes, turkey dinner sounds so good.
Okay, so I think we will see you all in
not 2 weeks. 2 weeks is when, maybe even 1 week.
we will be back here in
Are we gonna release this?
no, we're not gonna release it until the other one's done. I'm just saying. It's only one episode.
Okay. I was just asking, but you like cut like, ow, she's hitting me.
Yeah. All right. And
But how are we ending this? Like, is there a note that you want to leave off on? Can you see her moving? See if I was gonna get her moving. She's moving a
no,
lot.
or maybe I can zoom in on it. We can end it by. You wanna listen to a song? You wanna?
Want to what? You do that thing where you're like running off, but you're like, you start a sentence and you go nowhere with it.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know. I didn't think about
Okay,
it.
what do you want for dinner?
We can. I don't know.
What sounds good?
You can do like mashed potatoes with KFC or something.
KFC's so expensive.
Is it?
It is. It's like it's like fucking ridiculous. Like, I think for like an 8-piece tender meal, it was like $13 or something.
I mean, if we're talking about
Not meal, just the tenders or
okay,
something.
but if we're talking about expensive fast food, College Junior is so expensive. If you get any meal, it's like
no.
$15.
You know it's expensive,
What?
and you're gonna get so mad right now. Panera.
Oh, dude, Panera sucks. I don't know why people go to it. It's really not that good. You get such small portions. I ordered 3 meals one time and it came out to $70-something. What the fuck? And they weren't even larges. They were fucking medium sandwiches, you guys. Like, it pisses me off so much.
And guess what I'm craving? Panera.
We're not going there.
I'm just kidding. I'm not craving that. I'm trying to figure out what was your craziest craving during pregnancy?
I didn't really have a crazy one. I just ate a lot. What was your favorite? Oh, I'll tell you what. I think the one that would smack the most though was the Foster Freeze.
What is it? Ooh,
The
oh man,
not
too bad
Frosty.
it's so far
Twister.
away. That sounds so good.
Yeah, the Twister. With
mint and chip ice cream sounds good right now.
yeah, And at least Foster Freeze is that like old timey like. diner
Oh my
food.
God!
What?
Like, remember what was it? You were calling it cotton candy. Or remember, you're like,
Oh, if you compare,
you're like comparing the ice creams.
when you get ice cream at Foster Freeze, it's real thick and like you can taste it. It stays like you have to like swallow it for a while. It's like thick. When you get it from Sonic, it like is cotton candy. You put it on your mouth and your tongue. It's like just so fluffy that it just dissolves
you
in
think
your
it's
mouth.
because it's like they use less cream, like milk or dairy in it, and then like the other ones
Or-
like more water based. You know, like they just fill it with more water or
Oh,
something.
no, I think one of them's like it's whipped. One of them's whipped. You know what I mean? Like when you whip,
So
like there's the cream cheese and there's the whipped cream cheese, and the whipped one's always less good.
That's true. That's a better
But
comparison.
it's
to-
like the foam
but
on
remember,
it.
you're
It's like the
it's
foam.
like cotton candy.
Isn't it crazy how many milk products there are? Like cheese and all this cream and stuff. All right, you guys. On all these notes, we're going to go get food right now. We've just been taking up your time doing this. But we will see you when we have a child with these dogs. Our lives are going to change.
My vagina hopefully isn't gonna be bad after it. I'm more like, man, it's just gonna be so crazy. I'll let you guys know how that fucking experience is. I think that's the part where I'm just like the delivery process, like the whole thing. Like, I think it's because I don't know what to expect. So I don't even know.
Yeah,
you know?
our lives are going to change. And
I don't know how. Well, I guess I'll know afterwards, but I doubt it. I just don't know how people like being pregnant and want to get pregnant again.
I don't know.
It was crazy. Like, you know, go back
Yeah.
to back, and it's like, what? Like,
I think a lot of people
shit.
don't mean to, and they go back to back.
no, but some people like being pregnant, and some people are like, oh yeah, we want to have like 5 children, and it's like, what?
Yeah, but I mean, I think you got it.
I mean, I have to.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much.
Welcome back to another episode of Central Valley Podcast. I'm your host, Micah Diele, a filmmaker, photographer, and a dude passionate about his community. This podcast focuses on the talented individuals that make up the Central Valley of California, as well as people who are passionate about what they do. The Central Valley has gotten a bad rep, and we're here to change that. If you enjoy what we're doing, we kindly ask that you download each episode, subscribe to our YouTube, and leave a rating and review on whatever podcast app you're using. And once again, thanks for tuning into another episode of Central Valley Podcast.